Hello golfers, Bryan Pate here. I want to talk about chipping, the force on the grip, and how the Orange Whip Wedge can help you with some concepts. So I'm going to put the wedge behind us. In the short game, what we see for players going just a short distance, trying to slow the golf ball down, is they'll tend to have too small a backstroke. From there, they have to really try to speed up the club in order to get the golf ball to go the distance they're desiring. What happens in that scenario, if I take a short backstroke and then feel like I have to speed up a bunch, you'll see that I'm actually pushing my grip towards the pin in the distance. As I do so, if I just set up to this golf ball and push my grip forward, you can see that that club head's coming away from the ground. This is where a lot of stuff starts to happen, where golfers got to figure out, how do I get this club head back down to the ball? I could either bend my knees, I could push my hands more downwards to get the club into the ground, or a combination of both. What happens with these two things is there's too much stuff going down into the ground. And if I hit a little shot similar to that concept of short back, speed up very quickly, you can see it's hard for me to even touch the ground or clip that golf ball. So if I can do one more short back, speed up, you can see my right arm kind of extended, trying to make up for the room. My knees felt like they were going downwards a little bit, and I still got that golf ball on the top of the ball. So if I swap out my wedge, this Orange Whip Wedge, the idea here is this is a flimsy shaft. If I took the wedge back the same distance and tried to speed it up, this wedge is going to bend backwards and even get farther away from the ground. So our concepts and our thoughts with this wedge is, can we have a long enough backstroke where the club head can fall and create some speed, and it's going to feel like this shaft's staying straight and not bending in the stroke. So if I made a couple of rehearsal swings, you can see I could brush the turf on my way through to the finish to support the wedge. Now if we look at the other idea, here's the white ball. If I took it back and pushed my handle forward, you'll see that this ball is staying very level to the ground. Or if I took my normal stroke, pick the length that we're going to travel, let the club fall and rotate and pivot, what you'll notice is this white ball is actually making a little arc on the way upwards, which now allows us to let the club head get long and brush the turf. So I'm not pushing my hands to the target, I'm feeling the weight of the club head swing back and up, down and out to brush the turf, and back and up to support the finish. And you'll notice there's our finish we've talked about before with the wedges, where I'm turning my body to support the golf club. Like if I was going to take a ball and underhand toss it to where I wanted to go, that's the concept with the wedge. Once we can make a couple rehearsals with that idea, or if you have an Orange Whip Wedge, you get one, great chipping tool. Let's go ahead and put a ball in the way, create a length in the backstroke, and then let it go. That one was functional, but I did feel the wedge kind of bend in the backswing. Let's give it one more shot here before we go back to our normal wedge. We're going to pick the length. We're going to feel like we're going to pace the club to our finish so it doesn't have a lot of speed up or bend in it. So we're set up, picking the length. So there was a much better one, and in my feels, that one didn't feel as violent in transition, so I got to feel a little bit smoother. So if I swap out for my current wedge, can we have the same feels? Concept is, this shaft is softer. Can I pick the length that I need for my shot, and then can I have the same motion and support to the finish? So we're going to set up to it, pick the length, rotate through. Ooh, just missed. But this little concept is going to help you in the wedging. That way we can control the club brushing the turf, as opposed to if I was adding a bunch of force this direction, now we got to make up a bunch of room, and that's the one where we can get the club digging into the ground, as opposed to letting the club swing and pass and brush the turf. So use this idea, use the Orange Whip Wedge to help improve your chipping and get better around the greens.